Hey everyone, welcome to Runestone Reptiles. I'm your host Chad. All of our snakes are different and special in their own way. It is amazing how different the personalities can be, and I'm excited to pull out some of our beasties that are a part of the Runestone family today. First up today we have Ghost. Ghost is special to me because he is my first ball python. My wife and I were visiting an expo, and when I saw Ghost, I fell in love with him. It was the creamy pale color that drew me to him. I just had to bring him home. Ball pythons were always my favorite snake, and buying him was a dream come true for me. I ended up naming him Ghost because he felt so mythical due to his pale coloring. The coloring and pattern that we see on Ghost comes from the morphs that are a part of what makes him up. We will discuss morphs in more detail later. For now, I'll tell you that he is a pastel, inchy, calico, spider, pinstripe. For many people out there, the spider morph is very controversial within the reptile community. We will go into more about that controversy later. But I think it is worth mentioning that Ghost isn't to blame for the genetics that he has, and he deserves a good home as much as any other ball python. Ghost in many ways embodies what we think good keeping is about. It is about loving the animal and giving it the best life possible. This is why I chose him to be part of the Runestone logo. Our second snake of the day is Woden. Now, I spell the name O-D-I-N, but I pronounce it Woden. Why? Because I'm tapping into the ancient dramatic pronunciation of the Norse god we know as Odin. Yeah, that might be a little dumb, but I'm a sucker for Nordic and Celtic history. Now, Woden is a mostly white snake. Now, some people might think that Woden is an albino snake because of this, but that is actually not correct. Having worked around reptiles for a while now, I've seen albinos and leucistic snakes confused all the time. Woden is a special morph known as a blue-eyed leucistic. Sometimes this morph is just shortened down to a bell. If you look closely at his eyes, let's see if we can get him to work with us a little bit here. If you get a close look at his eyes, they're a steely blue in color. This is actually my favorite morph. I fell in love with bells since the first time I saw one in person, and it became a dream morph that I thought I would never actually be able to own. But I found Woden for a good price, and I couldn't pass up the chance to own such a beautiful snake. And a dream morph at that. Like Ghost, there is something mystical about the bell morph. Woden is a special part of the future of the Runestone family. He will eventually be one of the males used for our breeding projects here. Next, we have Dusk. Now, I'll be the first to admit that when I bought Dusk, she was a female snake for the right price during an impulse buy. I got excited about the idea of breeding snakes and found her in a local reptile shop. I knew the owner and knew that he produced high-quality snakes, so I bought her. Dusk's coloring is very different from the other ball pythons that I have in my collection, but she is still very beautiful. Sometimes I look at her and I think about the sunset. Now, Dusk isn't the most visually stunning snake in the Runestone Reptiles collection, but she is actually very special in her own way. She is a morph known as an inchy desert ghost. While visually, she doesn't stand out the same as many of the other snakes, her genetics are very desirable because of the color and pattern tend to get better as they mature instead of browning out and fading over time. Dusk is going to be a part of the future breeding projects here at Runestone Reptiles. Finally, we have Eowyn. She is a beautiful little girl that I'm excited about. My wife and I went to an expo to look for a female snake to pair with Woden. I had a whole list of morphs that I was trying to get to breed with my Bell. My goal was to find a snake that would give me a chance to create more Bell snakes in the future. I visited dozens of booths before talking to a breeder that I had bought from before. He and I talked a little bit, and I shared my list of morphs and what I wanted to do with my future breeding projects. After listening, the breeder brought out this girl and explained to me why this snake would fit with what I was looking for better than most of the morphs that I was currently looking at. And what can I say? I'm a sucker for the pale, white-colored ball python. Sorry, sweetie. She's still quite skittish. But man, did I fall in love with this beautiful, gorgeous girl. She is a pastel champagne lesser clown morph. And just look at her. Just like Woden, she has those steely blue eyes. Let's see if we can get her to show you those eyes. She has just gorgeous, gorgeous eyes there. Now down her back is kind of this pale yellow stripe. In the end, these traits reminded me of one of my favorite Lord of the Rings characters, Eowyn. So I named her after a shield maiden of Rohan. Like Dusk, Eowyn is a part of the future breeding projects. I'm hoping to hatch more Bells in the future. I bought all of these snakes for different reasons, but in the end, I love these snakes. They are part of a passion that started when I was a young boy catching snakes in the wild. I'm so excited to see what the future holds for these little beasties, and I'm very lucky to be their keepers. I hope that you have enjoyed these snakes as well. Which of our snakes was your favorite? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.